Yo, what's up, man? Ball nowhere here. Yo, listen, man. UFC Oklahoma is right around the corner. Dricus Du Plessis versus Kamaru Usman. Now, man, this is gonna be a really great fight, really interesting matchup. There's a lot of good fights in this card, and so you know what? Let's get right into it with one of them. Ezra Elliott versus Damien Anderson making their debut. Both of them undefeated. I don't got much to say about this one simply due to the fact that, quite genuinely, I'm pretty sure this fight got added like really on short notice. I did not see this fight on here yesterday. Okay, like today is Friday. Now, me personally, I'm gonna have to go Ezra simply due to the fact that it seems that he has a lot of like stopping power. I mean, every single one of his fights have ended in the first round. All seven of those fights have ended in the first round. Meanwhile, Damien, his have gone a little bit further. He has had a couple first round finishes. And now, first round finishes aren't everything because for all we know, maybe Ezra can't last a full 3 rounds. But I think it's going to be a great fight, man. I'm definitely going to watch this, especially to start off the card. A fight that I do got a lot more info on is Anna Melisano versus Dione Barbosa. Now, listen, man, I'm going to be real with you right here. Anna Melisano is going to get whooped. And that's not even me hating or anything. It's just that the level between her and Barbosa is high. It's really high. I watched the tape of both of them, and there was nothing about Anna that really like told me she could catch Barbosa with one of these, or man, she's dangerous. There was nothing about that super impressive. I feel like Barbosa's just better all around. She's a way better grappler. Anna, as the striker, might have a bit of an advantage on the striking, but even then, Dione Barbosa's experience is probably going to play a huge factor in that. And so overall, I got Barbosa winning this one easily. I mean, look at the odds. We got RJ Harris versus Alvin Hines. I think RJ Harris is going to win this one. However, I am going to right off the bat point out that I believe that RJ Harris would not, like, if it weren't for the fact that the heavyweight division is filled to the brim with absolute slop. There's only like what, five, a couple, just like a couple good fighters in the heavyweight division. The rest are just pure blobs. Like, if it weren't for that fact, I feel like RJ Harris would really not go anywhere near far into the heavyweight division because there is nothing about this guy when I was watching the tape that had me like, damn. It was kind of like the same situation as Melisano, but Melisano, she kind of impressed me a bit more. RJ Harris, there was nothing about this guy that really suggested to me, damn. And for a time, I actually thought, I feel like Alvin Hines beats him. But the thing is that, there's a lot of factors that go into play. There's the fact that RJ, he's the younger guy. He's a lot more hungrier than Alvin is. He's way more fit to fight. Meanwhile, Alvin Hines, he's the older guy, and obviously that comes with its advantages. He has more experience. Over here, it doesn't show it, but RJ Harris is undefeated. I forgot the amount of fights, but he is undefeated. But yeah, overall, man, I just don't think RJ Harris is going to last long eventually. However, I do believe he wins this fight in particular. So we got Alden Coria versus Stuart Nickel. Now, listen, man, I'm going to, you already see the odds. And don't even take the odds word for it. Take my word for it. Stuart Nickel sucks. Stuart Nickel is not UFC level. This man is going to get cut when he loses this fight. Most likely. Because he will lose this fight. If he wins this fight, hey, all fair play to him. But he's not going to last long regardless. Even if he does manage to win this fight. This man, I mean, he's lost all 3 of his UFC fights. He got KO'd in his latest one. Overall, the guy, like, he's lost in literally every possible way you can lose in MMA. Levi Rodriguez Jr. versus Philip Franco. Philip Franco, I believe he can pull this off. They have him as an underdog, but I think he can pull this off as the better grappler. And now I'm being objective about this whole thing. I do firmly believe Philip Franco is going to submit Levi Rodriguez. However, I want to point out also the fact that this dude Levi Rodriguez popped for PEDs. That's like a firm no-go for me. So I got Philip Franco submitting him. Philip Franco, I believe he is the better grappler. Listen, man, for this next one, I got JPL versus Sekyung KO. Now, listen, man. This one you're gonna have to take with a massive grain of salt because I really don't got as much info as this one. I wasn't really able to find as much tape, so I couldn't analyze it. Now, me personally, I'm going for the underdog, JPL. Just cause. However, I have seen one little clip. I believe it was him, if I'm remembering correctly, in which he has been before KO'd really badly. They both have the same amount of losses, 2 losses. However, Sekyung KO has more experience by 3 fights. So, take this one with a grain of salt. Do your own research on this one if you want. But, however, I do got more info on Austin Bashi versus Jose Miguel Delgado. Now, listen, this is an even fight. Legit, even the odds got it even. This is definitely going to be a hard one to call. Both of these guys are really good at what they do. Now, I've seen some people kind of shift more to the Miguel Delgado side, but I think I got Austin Bashi for this one. I think he got a little bit more pop in his striking than Jose Miguel Delgado. I think he's going to be able to overpower him. And so, this is definitely going to be a really good fight to end off the prelims. And you know what's going to be a really great fight to start off the main card, though? Tommy McMillen versus Alberto Montes. Both of these dudes are absolute dogs. Tommy McMillen, he's 10-0, I believe. Yes, he is 10-0. Meanwhile, Alberto Montes is 12-1. However, man, I'm going to be real with you. As much as this is going to be a really competitive fight. They got Tommy McMillen as the favorite, but I think Alberto Montes has a really good chance of pulling off an upset compared to every single one of the underdogs on this card. He has probably the best chance of pulling off the upset, simply due to the singular fact that this guy, I don't think Tommy McMillen has faced a striker with as good grappling as Alberto Montes. This guy, he's a problem. He has a lot of submissions under his belt despite being a striker. You'd think as a striker he'd have more KOs. Now this man has more submissions. He legit only has 1 KO victory. Now you take that as you will, but he is very good on the ground. And I don't think Tommy McMillen is going to be able to handle the pace setting that Alberto Montes is going to be able to do. With the grappling, I think he's going to be able to take control of the fight's pace. He's probably going to look to switch it up. Some striking, some grappling. And now, I can't guarantee that he's going to get a submission on Tommy McMillen. However, I can definitely see a realm of possibility in which he pulls it off. I can see Alberto Montes getting the win here, whether it be by submission or whether it be by decision. I can see him out-grappling Tommy McMillen. And so, this is definitely going to be a very good challenge. Moving on from that, we got another one that I don't got as much info, so I'm really going to go past this one quick. However, from what I've been seeing, I've heard rumors that Tabatha Ricci, there's a lot of people that are going to be straight hate watching this one, simply due to the fact she's one of those fighters that seems to straight be shadow boxing in the middle of the octagon, doing hitting straight oxygen. Fatima Klein, meanwhile, I have seen one of her fights. She landed a really nasty head kick on somebody. I forgot the fighter, but she definitely is really good. I mean, they got her as a massive favorite. And overall, I do think Fatima Klein is going to pull this one off. I think that if it is true what the rumors are saying, that Tabatha Ricci really has really bad striking, as they've been saying, then Fatima Klein should be able to get this one done. Now, moving on to this one. Oh, boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Listen, how do I even begin with this one? This is the thing, right? They are giving this dude Chase Hooper a lot of odds on this one. However, I can definitely see a realm of possibility in which he manages to lose this fight. This fight, he should not be losing this fight, mind you. Okay? Chase Hooper should be able to win this fight. The UFC is giving him a massive layup. But I see a realm of possibility in which Chase Hooper just gets chinned, because Chase Hooper genuinely sucks, bro. He's good on the ground for a bit until he isn't, and then on the feet he sucks because honestly he's just not that great on the feet, and his chin makes it even worse. So I'm gonna be real with you. I'm actually gonna go for Mitch Ramirez here. Mitch Ramirez has no business winning this fight. I'm telling you this right now. They're feeding him okay, to Chase Hooper because of how bad Chase Hooper has been doing. The UFC really wants Chase Hooper to succeed, but this man is not going to succeed. And it would be really interesting if Mitch Ramirez manages to pull off the upset over Chase Hooper, who's getting almost 400 odds always, despite being really bad. Like, Chase Hooper's wins have not been that crazy to be getting these big numbers of odds. Okay, so I'm gonna say that Mitch Ramirez is gonna pull this one off. Jared Cannonier versus Christian Leroy Duncan. Duncan probably gets this one done. I'm gonna keep it real. You know, he's on a 4-fight win streak right now. He's been doing really good work. Jared Cannonier, on the other hand, his last fight he got bullied by MVP, like straight up bullied. Like I genuinely, I don't think Cannonier can get this one done. Listen, Cannonier has definitely some things that he could do and to pull this one off, but Christian Leroy Duncan, you know, he's been doing really well recently. He's definitely been like performing and he's moving up the ranks. I think Jared Cannonier is going to get his number 10 spot taken. And Jared Cannonier, honestly, man, he hasn't been super impressive as of recently. So, you know, let's keep the win streak going. I think I got Christian Leroy Duncan. Now for this next one, we got DDP versus Kamaru Usman. If you asked me a couple days ago who I thought would win in this matchup, I guarantee you that I would have said Kamaru Usman. However, as the days have inched closer and closer to this fight night, I genuinely believe that DDP he might destroy Kamaru. I'm not gonna lie. Or, well, maybe destroy is a harsh word. I definitely do think that he is going to perform against him, though. He's going to perform really well, a lot better than most people expect. My first point, and the main one, is the fact that Kamaru doesn't have the ability to impose his grappling the same way Khamzat Chimaev does. Khamzat Chimaev, what does Khamzat want to do? Khamzat wants to get you on the ground, right? And he wants to submit you very quickly or maintain position on you, right? And work you into a submission. DDP didn't allow him to work him into a submission. However, he did allow him to stay on top of it. And that was the big thing, right? Because DDP was mainly worried about that submission threat. You know, Khamzat has that massive submission threat. And that, in and of itself, is a massive mental block for somebody like DDP. Because imagine this. Imagine you have somebody with the ability to lock in a submission really quickly on your neck or on your arm or wherever it is, right? On top of you. And you want to get him off of you. But you feel that if you do something too drastic to get him off of you, you are going to make a mistake. That's basically the massive mental block that DDP had to deal with during that entire Khamzat fight. And so instead of getting submitted, he basically opted for letting Khamzat maintain position and seeing if maybe he could stuff the takedown at some point or if Khamzat would do something that wears himself out. And the big problem with that, though, is that there's a bunch of different things. For example, DDP didn't make Khamzat work. He didn't do what Sean did, where Sean was like, he was being defensive, but he was making sure that it was hard on Khamzat's stamina to maintain him on the ground. He didn't make it as easy as DDP made it, where DDP basically didn't make Khamzat work at all. Khamzat just could lay on top of him without exerting himself. Sean didn't do that. Sean actually made Khamzat work. Like Khamzat, you know, he clearly played into that aspect. He knew that DDP was probably trying to really defend against a submission. So it's like, why go for a submission I'm not going to get? Why don't I just lay on top of him? He's not going to fight back. I can just hit him with little pitter-patter shots to score points. And I don't got to posture up for any massive shots to like try to end the fight. Because if I do that, there's a chance he's going to scramble because that's where DDP is best. DDP has good scrambling. So if you try to posture up, DDP is probably going to manage to get out, especially with his physique. His physique is really good for that. Like, DDP is a mutant, bro. Have you seen this, man? The girth that people talk about. Going off of that, right, that poses a massive problem for Kamaru Usman. Like, let's take into account a bunch of different factors. First of all, Kamaru Usman is definitely way smaller than Khamzat, okay? Now, I know Kamaru did really well against Hamza compared to DDP, but Kamaru Usman, he's a welterweight, man. He's definitely not going to be as big as somebody like DDP, who DDP, again, he's very, very well fit for this division. Kamaru is probably going to be smaller, so that's definitely not going to allow him, it's not going to do him any favors whenever he's in anything that requires massive physicality. But it's also the fact that Kamaru's main form of offense, like he has some decent striking, he has a good jab, but DDP is definitely going to be Kamaru on the striking. DDP has faced way better strikers than anything Kamaru has in his bag. So that's not going to be a problem. It's on the ground where Kamaru is going to want to take the fight. And his main form of offense is to lay ground and pound on his opponent. But that's a massive issue due to the fact that DDP, again, the whole reason Hamza didn't go for something like that is because DDP is most likely going to be able to get up from that. He has the scrambling ability to do so. That poses an issue for Kamaru, in which if he tries to make his main form of offense, he's going to allow DDP the opportunity to get up. And on the feet, I believe DDP wins that fight every day of the week. Father Time is not doing Kamaru any favors. The man is 39 years old. Dricus Du Plessis is in his prime. He is, without a shadow of a doubt, in the best physical condition he will probably ever be at this current time. This makes you wonder. It's like, at this point, this fight, this is just a full-on legacy fight, because if Kamaru pulls this off, this is going to be disastrous for DDP's career. Because honestly, Kamaru has no business winning this fight. So Dricus has a lot to lose from this fight. Meanwhile, Kamaru, his legacy has already been etched in history. But at this point in time, man, this fight just doesn't favor him. I think DDP is going to probably manage. Like, I don't know how he's going to win. I don't know how he's going to win. However, I do believe that DDP is going to manage to effectively neutralize Kamaru's offense. And from then on, it's a matter of what adjustments Kamaru is going to make. Because if Kamaru goes for laying into him with ground and pound, he's going to probably get up. And if he doesn't get up, then, wow, honestly, maybe DDP's grappling is worse than I thought. Because I feel like that Hamza fight did him dirty. A lot of people clown on him for it. Rightfully so, because there was a lot of stuff that DDP should have been able to do way better in that fight that he clearly didn't do. And if DDP loses this fight, man, yeah, we need to have a talk. So hey, make sure to subscribe if you like the video and want to see more. And yeah, see you.